Hey, what's up? It's another episode of Watch You Strappin. These aren't watch reviews, they're just a quick wristwatch check usually, as well as just to show a new strap pairing with a particular watch. I'd also consider these um, an extension of an existing review if I have one up, or basically ongoing user experience type of videos. I just talk about a particular watch and just talk more about it basically and how it's going, and just random thoughts about it off the top of my head usually. So this is the Laurier by Urban Gentry. Is it Urban Gentry by Laurier really? Because it's made by Laurier, but it's an Urban Gentry like a collab with the brand to make this design, and it's called the Merlin, and this is based off of um, pilot watches from World War II, namely, more specifically, the Weems style of pilot watches used by primarily the British RAF, but I believe the United States Army Air Force also had a use these type of watches as well. It's from what I can tell. I've quickly researched it in my past, and yeah, it's very cool. It's nothing of a direct copy or replica of. It's basically uh, you know a true homage, I would say, in that it takes a lot of the design elements that it's homaging, and making it in its own version. And yeah, so I think that's pretty cool, and I think they did a really great job at this. It looks great. It's been very well received. It's a limited edition of, I believe, 500 pieces, and I felt lucky enough to scrounge up the cash to get one. I think it's pretty much worth it. You have to be into the style, and okay with a somewhat smaller case size for these modern times in 2025, depending on when you're watching this. But in a way, it's kind of average now. I would say it's a 37 millimeter watch in these days. There's a number of watches have gone down to that. I think like the Back Bay 54 is an example. They downsized the dive watch to, I believe, 37 millimeters. There are some integrated sports watches they offer in such a small size, which I think is great, because integrated sports watch sports watch designs generally tend to wear about at least 1 or 2 millimeters larger than they appear, just the way the case and to the lug and to the bracelet design is filling up the space on your wrist. Anyways, going back to this, it's got really nice, I believe it's Lumicast, or 3D loom. I have to admit, it's not the strongest, considering that it is a 3D block of loom, but it does last. I think maybe it's toned down slightly because of the, I guess you can call it Fotina loom, color, but I don't mind that. So I don't think it's too heavy-handed in my opinion, and I think it adds to some extra contrast. I think it was just white on against white at the dial, which is actually an off-white. It's almost like an eggshell color. I think it'll be a little too close. I appreciate the contrast, and there's a slight shift in color, and yeah, I think it makes it actually a little bit more legible too. I like the fact that since they are aluminum, it's on a light dial, that there still is, it's not directly printed, and without any extra details such as the outlines, the black outlines around them. I think that helps. And you can see right in this angle, it's got lovely heat blued hands, and they are actually heat blued, not like painted or something like a lot of Seikos tend to do. They try to mimic that look, but it's, you can tell that's not really heat blue. But I mean, although it's still a nice look on those Seikos, but there is a difference. And I took it from this angle here. And the Weems style pilot watches are also known for having these rotatable bezels, bidirectional, usually basically friction fit, but it is locked down by this second crown that you find by the 4 o'clock position, and I like that look. It's pretty cool. Sometimes there have been some that have had the crown up by the 2 o'clock instead, and they're definitely variations on the interpretation of these Weems style and production of these Weems style pilot watches. They were made from 5 different manufacturers across different periods. These were early pilot watches for the Allied forces, and so there's variations, and I'm sure just people they made them as necessary and by whatever means for the war effort. And what you do with the timing, the bezel is it's not actually used for timing like you would do like with a dive bezel, but it was basically a way to circumvent the fact that uh, or adapt the watch to the fact that the movements at the time did not have hacking. So, and having hacking seconds to synchronize watches, especially for, flight navigation, is very important. Just to make sure everybody's on the same wavelength of synchronizing their movements and navigation. And so, what you would do basically, and I've done a video on this, and there are some out there, I'm sure, otherwise. But basically, there's a known signal that probably some radio signal like a beep or tone that the forces would be setting their watches to, and when you hear that beep, it will be signified at the top of the minute, right? And so you just kind of mark that with the bezel, and then you reset that will be the start of your minute, and then you just adjust the time to match that accordingly. I'm not going to go too deep into how you would set it, but that's basically the idea. And so you just offset the start of the minute, the top of the second, or I guess the top of the minute, and that'll be all good. And that's how you can synchronize everybody, because everybody, not everyone will have started and wound the watches at the same time. Hand positions of the seconds could be all places when it starts in the first place too. So synchronization could be a mess, but that's how you get everyone to get synchronized. Anyways, it's been a while. I've been trying to cycle through some of my other watches, but I'm glad to finally get this one back in the rotation, I guess. And today I decided to, the last time I had this was on a leather, distressed leather brown strap, brown leather distressed strap. So what did I say? A distressed brown leather strap. Actually a bun strap, which I got for a while back from Atelier de Griff, and check that video out. Looked pretty good, actually. It wears very thin, and I think it just looks really appropriate for the style watch anyways, even though they probably didn't wear these on a bun strap back then. But nonetheless, I like to pair things that I think look good with this watch. And in this case, this time, I have a bunch of Haviston straps. They're great strap maker, very vintage military themed designs, based in the UK, United Kingdom. And this is one of the ones I picked up actually when I had my a British-based brand, Vertex M100A, which is a great field watch. It's based off the Dirty Dozen watch design, and it's kind of one of the original makers of them, by the way. And and I thought that would be appropriate to have a British design, which this strap rather, which the brand is, as well as actually this pattern I have today. This is called the Denison 2B. I forget. I have to. It's basically they've come to a couple iterations, but this is the latest one, I think, and it's enhanced. Basically, what they do is they add some reinforcements, such as these leather paneling. I don't know if it's real leather. It could be like fake or pseudo leather, leather. Because I do wash my straps and gotten this wet and doesn't seem to have done really anything to it. I imagine these, being the straps that they are, and a military theme, I would think that there would be some decent bit of water or weather resistance to it. But either way, that's what I put it through, and it has a reinforced end here as well. That's wrapped in, I would just say leather, but what it actually is, we'll see. But it's held up just fine. And the pattern on this, it's called Denison. It's actually based off of British camouflage pattern that the military uses, which is what they might describe as like brush strokes. And it's not an exact copy of that. except they, according to the Haviston website, they took liberties in uh, recreating the camouflage pattern and made it into a more linear or vertical brushing to better suit like straps. It'll cover it and you see the pattern a little bit better than it normally would be. And that's basically it. And I think it looks pretty cool. It's different than I think most famous and typical camouflage of these tones, which is like I believe is the American woodland camo. That you see primarily in like the 80s, I guess, 1980s, maybe through the 1990s as well. But then they since switched to a more, I guess, what you could call it, like a digital pattern, which is supposed to be, actually visually break up your silhouette and form better actually than regular the old style camouflage. But anyways, I think looks pretty cool with this watch. The tones and colors work well, and the fact that it's this design stems from primarily a British pilot watch design, and having sort of a British inspired camouflage design paired with this in this manner looks good. It is a single pass-through, which is what I like about most Haveston straps, at least in their service series line. I believe that's what they call it. They have a bunch of these military design themes and mix all sorts. It's great that are inspired by different elements from history, military history. And you should check out the website. I highly recommend it. They're not that expensive too, and they're pretty good quality, nice hardware. Come in different sizes, and yeah, I think they're around roughly $28, but sometimes they have sales, and then especially if you buy they have like a field set coupon code, I guess, discount code. So I think you can get you buy two, then it'll be marked down a bit for a set like that, and which is pretty cool. So you don't pay quite as much on two, and I would recommend that if you get it from the Haviston website. Additionally, you can buy these if you're in the United States. So you don't want to wait for them to ship it across the pond, I guess. Traditionally, they've been using DHL, but I think DHL recently, with the tariffs and stuff, have stopped shipping to US, at least regular DHL, maybe DHL Express. Maybe DHL Express, I think it's a little bit different and still shipping, but I don't know. You might want to check with them just to be sure what their shipping situation is over there. But in the United States, Hobin's Fine, I think, watch bands is a good place to find them. They sell these as well, and there might be a slight markup because of it having been imported into the United States, but it's only like by a couple, like $1 or $2 or something like that. And there are incentives if you do shop with them regularly. I think there's points you can get, and that might add to a potential discount as well. But that's another way to get some of these. You might not have the full spectrum of the Haviston strap catalog there, but they have a pretty decent amount, and they're out. They will probably get them back in stock at some point. So just put notify me if back in stock. Anyways, that's about it. And just wanted to share this with you guys and get your, I guess, share your opinion, what you think. I think it looks pretty good. Looks all right. Anyways, enjoy your watches, and I shall continue to enjoy this, and talk to you later.